All right, so we're on 9.6 real world problems with decimals, and we should be on page 75. So please go to page 75. Remember, if I'm writing here, then you are also writing up in your book. All right, page 75, the top of the book, top of it says, solve one-step real world problem. So we have 9 nickels, are placed in a row touching one another. Each coin measures 2 and 12 centimeters across. And they've got the picture there. I'm not going to draw the picture because it takes too long and I'm not the world's best artist. What is the total length of the row of coins? So we've got all the different ones. So if you've got 9 of them and each of them is 2 and 12 then what are you going to have to do? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Yes, you have to multiply it. So to get the total length, you have to do 2 and 12 times 9. Remember, what is it that we have to remember when we're doing decimals? That's right, you have to remember that you got to add back two decimal spots back onto your final answer. 9 times 2 is what? 18. 9 times 1 is what? 9 plus 1, 10. 9 times 2 is 18, 19. So that's my final answer, right? No, why? What do I have to remember? That's right, up here, the two decimal spots. 1, 2, boom. 1908 is my final answer, right? No, what did I forget? Well, this is a real world problem. What does it need right here after the number? That's right, it needs a label. What was the label? It says right here, centimeters. So my circle should become a little bit bigger. All right, if you flip over to the next page, page 76, it has the guided practice. It says the mass of a $1/2, this is guided practice 1, mass of a $1/2 is about 11 and 34 grams. Find the total mass of 8 of them. So we're going to be doing what again? That's right, multiplying 11.34. Sorry, this is 11. We're going to erase some of that because that does not look so good. 11.34 or 11 times 8. Go ahead and pause this, do it on your own, see if you get the right answer. All right, and back 8 times 4 is what? 32. 8 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 7, 27. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And how many decimals are we adding back? That's right, 2. And what's our label? Label is 90 and 72 grams. All right, so if you go to the next page, or sorry, bottom of that page, page 76, solve two-step real-world problems using models. A piece of metal is 6 and 54 yards long and is cut into 2 pieces. One piece is twice as long as the other. What is the length of the longer piece? Give your answer correct to the nearest tenth of a yard. So that, you kind of just got to break up what did I have there, because it says, hey, you've got a piece of metal that is 6, sorry, that's supposed to be 6 and 54 yards long. And it's cut into 2 different pieces. One piece is twice as long as the other. So I'm just going to say, hey, if it's cut into 2 pieces, one is twice as long as the other, we're going to put this one here, the other one there. It's about twice as long. We'll put this ... So we actually know that this, and this, all 3 of them are the same thing, because these 2 are twice as long as this one. And we know that the total is 6 and 54 yards. So that's kind of how we would set up problems that are like these. So then it says one piece is twice as long as the other. What is the length of the longer piece? So we have to put a question mark by the piece that we're trying to figure out. And yes, this is exactly how I want you to do it when you're doing the assignment. It's going to make it a lot simpler for you if you're setting it up this way, because it shows you, hey, even though this piece is this piece right here is twice as long as this piece, then we know that we've actually got this 6 and 54 It's split into 1, 2, 3 equal pieces. That's really hard to understand if you're not actually writing it out like this. So we've got, basically we can say, hey, we've got 3 units equals 6 and 54 yards. because it is 3. We've got 1, 2, 3 of them are the same thing. So 3 units is 6 and 5400 yards. We're trying to figure out how much what is. Yeah, we're trying to figure out this, which is how many units? 2 units. So we're trying to get from 3 units to 2 units. Well, before we get from 3 to 2, we have to get to 1 unit. So figure out what 1 unit is. So to do that, we have to do what? How do you get from 3 to 1? You divide by 3. But whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So if you divide this side by 3, you got to divide this side by 3 as well. So 6 and 5400ths divided by 3. I put my decimal up there. 3 times 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract. This 5 drops down. 5 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 drop down the 4. 3 goes in 24 8 times. Oh, look, we get the answer, exactly 2.18. I'm going to rewrite this. So 1 unit is 2.18. 1 unit is 2.18, and this is yards again. And what was I trying to get to? Is that my final answer? Is that what I was looking for? 1 unit? No, I was looking for 2 units, so I have to multiply by 2. But whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. You're going to hear me say that a lot over the years. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So 1 unit times 2 is 2 units. That's what we're looking for. So we know this is our final answer. 2.18 times 2, or 2 and 1800ths, times 2. 2 times 8 is 16. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 2 is, sorry, 2 times 2 is 4. And there's 2 decimals, so 4 and 3600ths is our final answer. And is there a label? Yes, it is yards. So that is how you would do that two-step problem. You have to say, hey, I'm going to get from 3 units to 1 unit by, well, how do I get there? I have to divide on both sides. And I have to get from 1 unit to 2 units. How do I do that? I multiply on both sides. So that's how you figure that one out. Top of page 77 now. So it's got another problem there. It says a row of 7 boxes of spaghetti is 2464 centimeters. So 7 boxes is 24.64 or 6400 centimeters wide. Find the width of 9 boxes. Round your answer to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So we're going to start off with that using bar models to figure this out again. So we've got 7 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that makes 7, and that means I have to erase this extra section. I could have left it before, but that would have been a really big number otherwise. So I've got 7 boxes is 24 and 6400 centimeters. So there's 7 of them there. So again, before I went from, remember, I knew that I needed 3. I had 3 units, and I needed to find 1 unit, and then I needed from there to go to 2 units. So what am I going to do here then? I have 7 boxes, and I'm trying to get to how many boxes? Yes, 9 boxes. So you can kind of figure it out. If you've got 7, I'll say units, equals 24.64. You're going to have to do what to find out what one of these is, and then figure out when you're adding 2 additional boxes on. Yeah, you're going to have to divide to get this, divide by 7 to get this, and then you have to multiply that by 9 to get what 9 of them is. It's obviously going to be more than 24 and 6400ths. So I have to divide by 7, divide by 7. All right, so this is 1 unit. That's the easy part. And now I've got to do 24 and 6400ths divided by 7. Remember, I'll put my decimal there. 7 goes into 24 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. I get 3, drop down to 6. 7 goes into 36. 8, no, let's see, 4 times. Nope, 5 times. 5 is 35. 5 times 7 is 35. Again, study those multiplication tables if you don't know them, because you're going to have to know them. It's impossible to do this if you don't know how to your multiplication tables. So 36 minus 35 is 1. Drop down to 4 is 14. 7 goes into 14 how many times? Yes, 2. Exactly 2. 2 times 7 is 14. That'll cancel those out. You get 0, which means it's your final answer, right? No, because we're not trying to figure out what 1 unit is. We're trying to figure out what 9 units is. So I'm going from 1 unit is 3 and 52 hundredths. 1 unit is 3 and 52 hundredths, and I'm trying to get to how many units? Yes, 9 units. So I have to multiply by 9 on both sides. 3 and 52 hundredths times 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 1 is 46. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 4 is 31. How many decimals do I have back? 1, 2. 31 and 68 hundredths. Final answer, right? No, I got to have a label. And I need to actually go back and read something in my question. So go back to the top page 77, reread that. A row of 7 boxes of spaghetti is 24 and 64 hundredths centimeters wide. Find the width of 9 boxes. Round your answer to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So this is the width. We know our label is centimeters, but they said round our answer to the nearest what? To the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So we have to cross out here and then look, do I round up to 7 or do I round down and keep it at 6? Well, it's 8, which means I'm rounding up 31 and 7/10 of a centimeter. That's my final answer for this part, which you can also see in your book on page 77. All right, your turn. We're going to do, let's do 2 of these guided practice. We'll start off with, we'll start off with 2 and then we'll see how things go from there. So number 2, Heather saved $12.15. Zach saved 3 times as much as Heather. Serena saved $24.50 more than Zach. How much money did Serena save? So I'm just going to say Heather, Zach, that's my Z, because otherwise it looks like a 2, and Serena. So Heather saved $12.15. Zach saved 3 times as much. So if she got 1 box, he should get 3 boxes. And Serena saved $24.50 more than Zach. So you have to pay attention to what they're doing there. So it means she's got the same as Zach, and then she's also got $24.50. And each of these boxes we know is how much? Yeah, it's $12.15 because we know that Zach got 3 times as much as Heather. So that's what you should have. Now I want you to pause this, try to do this by yourself, then come back and look at the video to figure the answer out. All right, and back. So this, you should have said this is 12.15. If that's 12.15, then this should be 12 and 15 hundredths times 3, and this should be 12 and 15 hundredths times 3. That's this section right here, and this section right here. So if I figure that out, it's going to help me out a lot. Now, if I do 12 and 15 hundredths times 3, 5 times 3 is 15, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3, and there's my number there. So 36.45, that is going both here and here, and I would need to add that plus the 24.50 to get the answer there. All right, so going back, looking at my question, it says Heather saved this much, Zach saved this much, Serena saved this. How much money did Serena save total? So all of this is going to be money that she's saving, because it's not saying how much more money did Serena save than the other 2. Otherwise, they would be obvious because she saved $24.50 more than the other 2, or more than $24.50 more than Heather. No, she's saying all of this is money saved, this is money saved, and this is money saved. So it's asking how much did Heather save total? Well, and then it must be 36.45 plus 24.50. So I'm going to put this in red so it's easier to see. 24.50, and all you have to do is just add 5, 9, 10, and that's 5, 6. So $60.95, and what's my label? Should be in dollars, $60.95. That's the final answer. All right, we're going to do guided practice number 3 here. Miss Gonzalez wants to buy 3 watches at a cost of $69.95 each. Estimate the least number of $5 bills that she needs to buy the watches. Oh man, so that's kind of complicated. She wants to buy 3 watches, and they are $69.95 each. estimate the least number of $5 bills that she wants to buy the watches. All right, well, if we're estimating here, you got to think. This should get rounded. What should get rounded to? Yeah, it should get rounded to 70. And if she's buying 3 watches, then we have to do what? Multiplication or division? Yes, multiplication. 70 times 3, well, 7 times 3 is 21. Add the 0 at the end. 210. Well, we've got 210. You're estimating how many $5 bills. What's the least number of $5 bills that we'd have? So we have to do this and divide by 5. 210 divided by 5. 5 goes into 21 how many times? Yes, 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. And you get 1. Drop down the 0. 5 goes into 10 how many times? 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So I get 0 here. So is my final answer going to be 42? Is that how many $5 bills that she's going to be using? Well, I have to look back on here. Is the final answer going to be more than $69.95 or less? Well, it should be less. So 210 is what we're estimating the cost is, but we know it's going to be less because we rounded up to 70. So then that means 42 should be a pretty good answer to us. Does that mean 42 is the final answer? What's the label? Is there a label? Yes, there is. It's 42 of what? 42 $5 bills. Kind of complex, right? It's weird to have your label be $5 bills, but yes, because it's 42. The question was how many $5 bills? It's 42 $5 bills. We're gonna do at least one more here, just because that last one was done a little bit differently. So number 4, a wooden vase and 4 glasses have a total weight of 21 6/10 pounds. The weight of the wooden vase is 3.3 pounds. What is the weight of each glass vase? Round your answer to the nearest hundredth of a pound. Wow, there's a lot to keep track of in there. So again, we're gonna work through it one thing at a time. I'm gonna try to model here for you what it looks like to use these bar models because they are incredibly helpful. It's really hard to do this without them. So I'm just gonna write down in boxes and numbers what I see when I hear it. Take it one thing at a time. A wooden vase and 4 glasses. So vase plus 1 vase, 4 glasses. Have a total weight of 21.6 pounds. Anytime you see the number total, that means it equals 21.6 pounds. I'm putting the label over there. So a total weight of 21.6 pounds. The weight of the wooden vase is 3.3 pounds. So I'm just going to put this right here, 3.3, plus the weight of each, and they're asking what is the weight of each glass vase. We don't know, but we do know that we've got, what is the weight of each glass vase? Because this is a wooden, I read that wrong. Wooden vase and glass vase. So this is 3.3. We don't need to put like, hey, this is WV or whatever by it. But these, we don't know what they are, and we know each of them are glass. So we've got 3 of whatever the glass vases are. We don't know what they are. So if I look at this, I think to myself, okay, well, I have this equal sign right here, and I've got this stuff on here, this stuff on this side, and this right here. I don't know what these things are, so I have to leave those right now, I guess. But I know I've got 21.6 total. Can I get this off this side? Yes, I can. I can say, hey, I'm going to subtract 3 3/10. But whatever I do to one side, remember, I'm going to have to do to the other. So I subtract 3.3 to this side. So that gets rid of both of these because I have a positive up here and a negative down here. It cancels them out. So 21.6 minus 3.3, I get 3/10. 21 minus 3 is 18. So I have 18.3 equals these 3 things, and I don't know how many there are. Well, if 18.3 is 3 of them, how do I figure out what one of them is? Yeah, I'm going to have to... Oh, anyone catch my mistake? Up here, 4 glass vases. How many do I have here? 3. So I'm going to have to go back, add 4. Now, it didn't mess up any other part of the problem, but if you make those little mistakes like that, then it is going to mess it up. So if it should be 18.3 is not 3 glass vases, but is 4. So what do I have to do? Here I added, or I was adding this, so I subtracted. What do I have to do to get 1? Because I want to find out what one of these is. If I know that 4 of them is this, what do I have to do to get what one of them is? Well, think about it. I have one of these right now, and it's multiplying. So I basically have, hey, I've got this one box times 4. Here, I was adding 3.3. Now I've got this one box times 4. Here, I subtracted because that was the opposite of adding. What am I going to do to get rid of multiplying by 4? Yeah, I divide by 4. So in this, I divide by 4. These cancel each other out, and whatever I have left will be just one box on this side, but I have to actually do the work to figure this out. 18.3 or 18 3/10 divided by 4. So I'm going to do 18 and 3/10 divided by 4. Put this little decimal on top. 4 goes in 18 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. I get 2, drop down to 3. 4 goes into 23. How many times? Well, 4 is going to go into 23. Let's see, not quite 6 times. 5. 5 times 4 is 20. I have a 3. Wow, what did am I done? No. Remember, there's an infinite amount of zeros here. You keep on dropping them down. 4 goes into 30. How many times? 7. 7 times 4 is 28. I get 2. What am I doing? Dropping down again. 0, 4 goes into 20. How many times? 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. Oh, man, I'm finally done. So, there's my answer. One glass vase, I'm just going to say GV in it, is 4, oops, not 5, 4.575. And what's my label supposed to be? I look back, it is LB because it is pounds. Is that my final answer then? What is the weight of each glass? Round your answers to the nearest hundredth of a pound. Is that round to the nearest hundredth? No, it is not, because this is tenth. This is hundredth, which means I cross off after that. Do I, do I go up to 8 or do I stay at 7? Yes, I'm going to go up to 8 because 5 and up means I'm rounding up. So 4 and 58 hundredths pounds. Man, I am done.